Hey guys, welcome back to SIC SIPs. The quote of the day is from Siemens. Ignorance of standards and codes is not legal defense. That means that if you are a building owner or manager, liability is on you to make sure these systems are properly maintained, and Sonic wants to make sure that you are properly informed to make the best decisions for your systems. So tune in and check out the conversation.
I think it's important to note here is all of this liability falls back on the building owner or facility manager. That's something that's not talked about very frequently. And it's the idea of, ignorance of the standards and codes is not legal defense. This is a quote from Siemens in one of their brochures that they recently released. I was like, wow, that was so blatantly out there. But when you look at NFPA code, it all puts it back on the building owner and facility manager. It's not the insurance company's job to make sure that you're keeping up on your compliance. They'll try to help, but at the end of the day, if there's a fire and catastrophic failure, they're not going to try to pay out if they don't want to. They're going to look for flaws that you didn't do. On another sense, the HJ, the government's never going to pay out. It's always, they're going to push it back onto the building owner. And then it comes to the fire contractor. Now, there could be proof that they didn't do something correctly. Something could happen, but at the end of the day, typically that's not what happens. It all falls back on the end user. And I think it's really important to note that like you as the building owner, you as a facility manager, have to take ownership of your building. You have to take ownership of these fire sprinkler systems, because if there's a catastrophic failure, there's the fire in Oakland that happened in 2013. Pretty much the fire marshal couldn't come and inspect the building. The fire contractor didn't know that the 5 years needed to be done, wasn't forcing it. It came out that there was 13 people that had died from this fire, and it fell all back on that building owner. It wasn't, they didn't try anything. It was, hey, this is the building owner's fault. And so I think that is just one story of probably thousands of stories of, hey, this falls back on the building owners, the facility managers. And I think it's really important that you guys know, at least have some concepts of I know these people are trying to take in like this much, like drinking out of a fire hydrant, of this is all the information I have to do for compliancy. And so it's just important to know, like, to find information sources, to have a little bit of education on this. And that's what we hope we're providing you guys here, which is, hey, this is what a 5 year is. This is an in-depth discussion about the 5 years. Why is this important to do?
Right.
So
yeah, to recap, like 5 years are the only time that your system is inspected for things that hinder the functional operation of the system in the event of a fire, like corrosion, obstruction, blockage, scaling, and things like that. It's minimally required at a 5 year frequency, mostly because they're trying to balance how quickly do these things corrode versus how much is too much of a burden on the end user. And I think, Sid, that conversation about like liability and who's going to pay for it at the end of the day is really important, because it's tempting when you have 1,000 codes to follow as a building owner or facility manager. This one that you've not really heard about maybe doesn't seem very important. But if it's life safety, like the 5 years, a life safety issue, and it's directly it's vital to the functional operation of fire sprinkler systems, it's something that at the end of the day, you just don't want to risk it. You don't want to take the chance of I didn't get it done in time and something went wrong. And that's our goal, is to talk about this is maybe a neglected inspection, but it's a vital one.
Yeah. Hey guys, thanks for checking out this video. Tune in next week to see more of our conversation about 5 year internal assessments and what you need to know.